Welcome to your favorite channel, where you'll learn everything you need to know to improve your health and lifestyle. Let's get started.
All right, let's talk about energy. And I don't mean the kind you get from your morning coffee. I'm talking about what's really going on deep inside you. Turns out, there's this incredible drama playing out in every single one of your cells. And at the center of it all is one crucial molecule, NAD+. And trust me, you're going to want to know about it. We all have those days where we feel completely drained, right? But what actually is that energy on a biological level? Well, it's not just some vague feeling. It is a real physical process. And if you understand that process, you kind of hold the key to how your body works. So let's start with the basics. Think about it. Every single thing your body does, from blinking to thinking to lifting something heavy, has a cost. It needs to be paid for. Your body has a special form of molecular cash it uses for these transactions. This is the absolute foundation of how you're powered. And that molecular cash is called ATP. You can literally think of it as the energy currency of your cells. Every time a muscle fiber twitches or a neuron fires in your brain, it spends ATP to get the job done. It is the universal fuel for pretty much every process that keeps you alive. Okay, but here's the thing. Your cells can't just magically make ATP out of nothing. The whole process of turning the food you eat into that usable ATP energy, it's like a really complex factory assembly line. And for that assembly line to work, it needs a manager, a co-pilot, if you will, to keep things moving. And that brings us to the real star of the show today, NAD+, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. If ATP is the cash, you can think of NAD+ as the essential armored truck that transports all the valuable stuff needed to print that cash in the first place. It is absolutely critical. So how does this co-pilot actually do its job? The best way to think about it is like this. NAD+ is an empty taxi. Its whole purpose is to drive around and pick up a very important passenger, a high-energy electron that gets released from the food we break down. Once it grabs an electron, that empty taxi, NAD+, turns into a full taxi, which we call NADH. That full taxi then drives its passenger over to the cell's power plant, the mitochondria, and drops it off. That electron is then used to power the production of all that ATP cash we were talking about. Then, the taxi is empty again. It's back to being NAD+, and it goes off to pick up another passenger. This cycle is happening trillions of times every single second inside your body. It's just incredible. But wait, there's more. The story of NAD+ doesn't just stop at making energy. That's its day job, sure. But it turns out it's also a master regulator, kind of like a guardian, that oversees some of the most important maintenance jobs inside our cells.
What's so amazing about NAD+ is how much it does. It's a true multitasker. It powers these things called sirtuins, which scientists sometimes call longevity genes, because they act like a cellular cleanup crew that helps regulate aging. It also fuels the enzymes that are your DNA's emergency repair team, fixing damage as it happens. On top of that, it helps run your immune system, it helps manage your sleep-wake cycle, and it even helps clear out old, malfunctioning cells. It's basically the molecule that keeps the entire system running smooth.
And this quote right here says it all. This isn't just about feeling a little more energetic. NAD+ is so profoundly fundamental to everything your cells do that without it, life would just stop. Almost instantly. Okay, so this brings us to the big plot twist in our little cellular story. For a molecule that is so incredibly important, we have a major problem as we get older. Our levels of NAD+, well, they don't stay high forever.
Just look at that number, 50%.
That's how much your NAD+ can plummet in some of your most important tissues just between the ages of 40 and 60. Think about that for a second. By the time you hit middle age, you could be operating with half the amount of this crucial molecule for energy and for repair that you had when you were younger. This isn't some small dip. This decline is now considered by many scientists to be a core hallmark of the aging process itself. So you might be asking, where does it all go? Well, it seems there are three main culprits. First, you've got these overactive enzymes. One is called CD38 that basically just gobble up NAD+, and they get more aggressive as we age. Second is all the wear and tear. The more DNA damage your body has to deal with, the more NAD+ gets used up by those repair crews, essentially draining the tank. And finally, our body's own system for recycling and remaking NAD+ just gets slow and inefficient over time.
But here is the good news. It is not a lost cause, not at all. Because once you understand what the problem is, you can start to look for the solutions. And the science is actually really clear on this. There are effective ways to push back against this decline and help support your body's own NAD+ supply.
And the strategies really boil down to three main pillars. It all starts with lifestyle choices, things like exercise. Then it's about what you eat, strategic nutrition. And finally, for those who want a more direct route, there's something called precursor supplementation.
Let's break that down. First, exercise. Things like high-intensity interval training actually send a signal to your body to get better at making and using NAD+. It's like a workout for your cellular metabolism. Second, your diet. Foods that are rich in vitamin B3, like fish, lean meats, nuts, give your body the raw building blocks it needs. And finally, supplementation. Molecules like NR and NMN are called precursors. You can think of them as pre-assembled parts that your cellular factory can just grab and quickly turn into finished NAD+, giving the whole system a direct boost.
So, to wrap this all up, the main thing to remember is that NAD+ isn't just another buzzword in the health world. It is a fundamental piece of your biological hardware. Getting a handle on what it does, why it goes down, and how you can support it, it's almost like getting access to the basic operating system for your own health and energy. This knowledge really puts the power back into your hands. It connects the dots between something you do every day, like your workout or what's for dinner, and these deep, powerful processes happening inside your cells. So, the only real question left is, what are you going to do with that power? Thanks for tuning in.
Here are some tips to help you have a healthy and strong body and mind. Remember that we upload videos every day.
All right, welcome to The Explainer. You know, we're all looking for the secret to a long life, right? Well, what if I told you it's not some hidden secret, but a blueprint? One that's been right in front of us all along. Today, we're gonna crack that code. And it's not just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. So let's start with a really important question. I mean, what are you really aiming for? Are you just focused on your lifespan, or are you thinking about your health span? Seriously, think about that for a second. What's the point of living longer if those extra years are just miserable, right? Getting this distinction right, well, it changes absolutely everything. Yeah, see, lifespan, that's just the number, the total years you're on this planet. But health span, oh, that's the good stuff. That's all about the quality of those years. The years you're feeling great, you're active, you're free from all those chronic diseases we dread. The goal here isn't just to limp across the finish line at 100, it's to sprint, or at least jog comfortably right to the end. That's the prize.
Okay, so where do we find this magical blueprint? Well, it turns out we look to these places called blue zones. Think of them as these little pockets of the world that are like natural laboratories for a long life. We're talking about 5 specific places: Okinawa in Japan, Sardinia in Italy, Nicoya in Costa Rica, Ikaria in Greece, and even one in the US, Loma Linda, California. In these places, people aren't just living longer. They're hitting 100 at incredible rates, and they're doing it without all the chronic diseases that we just assume are a normal part of getting old.
So, here's the plan. We're going to dive deep and crack their code. We've distilled all their secrets down into 4 main pillars. We'll go through them one by one, and then, at the end, we'll talk about how you can take all this and start building your own personal blue zone.
Sound good? All right, let's jump right into our first pillar, how we move.
Now, the way people in blue zones approach physical activity, it's so simple, but it's probably going to flip what you think of as exercise completely on its head. Check this out. The longest-lived people on Earth, they don't work out. Not like we do, anyway. You're not going to find a 95-year-old Okinawan signing up for a CrossFit class. It's just not a thing. For them, movement isn't something they schedule. It's just a natural, unavoidable part of their day. And this is a huge mindset shift, right? For most of us, exercise is this intense 1-hour blast to the gym, and then we sit for the other 15 hours of the day. For them, it's the total opposite. Their entire world is set up to make them move constantly, but gently. They're out in the garden, they're walking to a friend's house, they're doing things by hand. It's this all-day, low-level hum of activity that keeps them going. So how can we, in our modern world, copy this? Well, there's this really cool idea called the Centenarian Decathlon. It's simple. Think about the 10 things you really want to be able to do when you're 95 or 100. You know, like picking up a great-grandchild, carrying your own groceries, climbing a flight of stairs. Then you train for that, right now. It's about training for life, not just for looks. Okay, movement is huge, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. Let's talk about pillar number 2, food. What are we putting in our bodies?
And just like with movement, you're going to see it's not about some single magic superfood. It's all about the overall pattern.
And wow, is the pattern clear. When you look at all the blue zones, their diets are, on average, 95% plant-based. And the foundation, the cornerstone of their diet? It's not goji berries or some expensive powder, it's beans. Yep, humble beans. Fava beans, black beans, lentils, you name it. Plus tons of whole grains, nuts, and veggies. Meat? That's more of a special occasion thing, not an every single day staple.
But it's not just what they eat, it's also how they eat. In Okinawa, they have this little mantra they say before a meal, hara hachibu. It's a reminder to stop eating when you're 80% full. Think about that. That little 20% gap, the one between I'm not hungry anymore and I'm stuffed, that can be everything. It's literally the difference between gaining weight or losing it over time. And yeah, if you look across the different regions, the specific foods change a bit. You've got sweet potatoes in Okinawa, fava beans in Sardinia, corn and squash in Costa Rica. But the theme, it's always the same, whole foods, stuff that hasn't been messed with too much. And, you guessed it, mostly plants.
Okay, we've covered moving and eating, but living a long, happy life, it's not just about the physical stuff. It's also deeply connected to how we feel, who we connect with, and honestly, this might be the most important and most overlooked pillar of them all.
In Okinawa, they have a word for this, ikigai. It basically translates to your reason for being. It's why you get out of bed in the morning. And this isn't some fluffy, nice-to-have idea. Having a real sense of purpose is a powerful, powerful engine for a long and healthy life. It's your North Star. And this isn't just talk. This has real, measurable effects on your body. Get this. Studies show that knowing your purpose can add up to 7 extra years to your life. 7 years! And on top of that, it helps protect your brain from decline as you age. That's incredible.
So the big takeaway here is that your connections, your tribe, are basically a prescription for good health. Being part of a community, putting your family first, even just making sure your friends are people who lift you up and support healthy habits, it all matters. Your social circle can literally be the most powerful health intervention you have.
Okay, time for our last pillar. And this one deals with something every single one of us has to deal with, stress. It's not about avoiding stress. That's impossible. It's about how we handle it, how we recharge and protect ourselves from it. This is going to sound a little weird, but stick with me. Did you know that every night, when you go to sleep, your brain gives itself a wash?
It's true. There's this incredible system called the glymphatic system. And when you're in deep sleep, it switches on and acts like a power washer for your brain. It flushes out all the junk and metabolic waste that builds up while you're awake, including the nasty proteins that are linked to Alzheimer's disease. So yeah, getting enough quality sleep isn't a luxury. It's absolutely essential for your brain.
And speaking of stress, here's an amazing way to picture what it's actually doing to you on a physical level. You know the little plastic tips on the ends of your shoelaces? Well, you have something similar on your chromosomes called telomeres. And chronic stress, it's like taking sandpaper to those little caps, fraying them and shortening them. It's literally aging you from the inside out at the genetic level.
But the people on the blue zones have figured this out. They have these built-in daily routines to downshift and shed stress. It could be a short nap, time for prayer, or even just a happy hour with friends. They prove that managing stress has to be a daily practice. And the cool part is, things like meditation can actually help boost an enzyme that rebuilds those telomeres. You can literally help slow down the aging process.
Okay, so we've got the 4 pillars. Move wisely, eat for life, connect deeply, and rest and recharge. So now what? How do we take all this and actually use it? It's all about becoming the architect of your own life, building your own personal blue zone, right where you are. And this, to me, is the best news of all. We tend to think our health is all written in our genes, right? Well, it turns out genes only account for about 20% of how long you live. 20%. The other 80%? That's your lifestyle. That's your environment. That's the stuff you have control over. You are in the driver's seat.
So, I want to leave you with a question. Building a long, vibrant life? It's not about some radical, overnight transformation. It just starts with one small change. One simple step that makes the healthy choice the easy choice. Maybe you put a bowl of fruit on your counter instead of cookies. Maybe you just decide to take the stairs at work tomorrow. So, what's it going to be? What's your one small change?
If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers so I can bring you better content. See you tomorrow with a new video.